SACCOs. Now, the next thing we're going to look at is the benefits that come with having a SACCO, like the things that you need to consider before you join a SACCO. So there's so many places, so how do you choose which SACCOs should you be in and how many should you be in? They will ask you, how much do you want in shares of the SACCO and how much do you want as your saving? Where is the difference? Hi, I'm Gabriela and this is the Personal Finance and Coffee Podcast. On this channel we talk about how do you organize your money, how do you manage your money so that the money that you make can be used to attain the goals that you want. Let us break this cycle of you make money and then 5 years later, 10 years later, you feel like, where has all my money gone? This is what I talk about on this channel. Places to put your money, how to find systems that work for you. If this is content that you find interesting, please like the video, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss future episodes. So in today's episode, we are going to talk about SACCOs. Now, I'm in Uganda, I'm based in Uganda. So in Uganda we have SACCOs and I'm sure they're there in other countries as well. So this is when you have a group of people, like it's an organization that is registered and is organized and people come together to save money together. The intention of SACCOs is to offer people a platform where they can get loans. And the process of getting money from SACCOs is less tedious in comparison to getting a loan from the bank. So when you go to a bank to get a loan, there are a number of things that you go through and you need to have collateral and then they'll need to value and then it comes with a lot of extra charges. So a SACCO is another alternative. So you save money in the SACCO, like different people. So the SACCO has a pool of money that it lends out to the members. And of course it lends out at an interest. Now, what makes it possible for them to lend you out a certain amount of money is based on how much you've saved, as well as you always need to have like guarantors who are within the SACCO. This also protects the SACCO from people who are unable to pay. So that is how, generally, that is how the SACCOs are organized. Now, the next question you might ask yourself is, what are the places where you can find SACCOs? There are SACCOs that are in workplaces. So if your company and your workmates and you're like, okay, let's just have a SACCO. And also schools, like Old Girls Association, for example, you can have, or OBs and OGs can create a SACCO. So if you went to that school, you are able to join that SACCO. So also the school, and also sometimes you can find maybe friends can have like collectively, they say, okay, let us try and invest together and let us create a SACCO. You can also have a SACCO at your place of worship, like maybe at a church, and people are like, let's make a SACCO. You can, like, those are some of the places that you can find SACCOs. Now, the next thing we're going to look at is the benefits that come with having a SACCO, like joining a SACCO, being a member of a SACCO. When it comes to having a SACCO, you're able to have a platform to get loans that are quicker, you know. The interest rate is definitely not as high as money lenders, if you know. So you're able to have a bit of a better interest rate and to have it quickly. So if you're in business and maybe you have like an order and they're like supply and then we pay, but you need cash to supply. So that is the place you get the money. If it's time for school fees and you don't have enough money, but the kids need to go and you're expecting money, you're like, let me get a quick loan, let the kids go to school. If you have a medical challenge and they can't admit you in the hospital because you need cash, you're able to get money. So these are some of the things that it helps with. And also when they lend out money and they invest money in different places as a SACCO, they are able to receive an interest. So you're supposed to get an interest on the savings that you have with that SACCO. That is another bit. So you earn an interest, and the interest will depend, like the policy of the SACCO, of how much interest do we give the members, varies from place to place. So you have to look at those things when you're looking at the SACCOs. And then another benefit that comes with SACCOs is that it's also a platform for connection, for meeting people and keeping in touch with people. Because our lives are so busy, you find that between work and home and all, somehow adult friendship, you guys, adult friendship is not easy, keeping up with your friends. But when you have a platform where you're meeting people, if you've joined it keeps that connection. If you're meeting monthly or you're meeting annually, or you're looking for a guarantor, like somehow you're in touch with your people. That's another benefit that comes with SACCOs. The things that you need to consider before you join a SACCO, because like I've said, there are so many places that you can find SACCOs. So you may find a friend telling you, oh, let's join this SACCO. Our school has a SACCO. And then you walk with that, oh, let's join this SACCO. And then your place of worship at your church is a SACCO. So there's so many places. So how do you choose which SACCOs should you be in and how many should you be in? So one of the first things that are very important, understand the reason why you need a SACCO. You personally, do you even need a SACCO? I've mentioned all the benefits. When you look at your finances and you look at the position that you're in, you assess if the services that the SACCO provides are those that you need. For example, you may not be in business. You may feel like, at this moment, I don't need quick cash. And maybe the interest rate that they're going to give me from the SACCO is not as high as putting the money in the unit trust. So you feel like, no, because I don't need a loan, I want to borrow. So I'm going to put the money in the unit trust since it will give me higher interest. You get what I mean? But then someone else will say, but now me, because I am in business, I need capital, I have orders that come in when I don't expect them, and then I need to borrow more than I have saved. Because with a unit trust, if you have 5 million there, you will get 5 million. But then when it comes to the SACCO, they will say maybe ×2 of your savings. So if you have 5 million, you can borrow 10. You know what I mean? So you assess your need for the SACCO and why you're joining. So don't just join out of peer pressure. Otherwise, you'll find yourself in 5 different SACCOs, and then your money is spread everywhere. So it's not like collected in one place. So that is what I can give, that is something to keep in mind. Now, the second thing that you need to consider is, where is this money going to come from? When, for example, you make your budget, yes, we're going back to the budget. When you make your plan, it could be, maybe you don't have the whole template and I don't know, when you simply write down on a simple piece of paper, this is how much I'm expecting, and this is where it's going to go. These are my bills, these are my what. Do you actually have money to put in that SACCO? Some SACCOs have a compulsory saving amount per month. So if you're in 5 different SACCOs and each has a different amount, you will end up not complying with their regulations simply because the income you have is not enough. So also look at where the money that is coming from, the money that you're going to put in those SACCOs, so that you're not spread too thin. That is something else to keep in mind. Now, another thing to consider, the third one, to consider when it comes to SACCOs is that SACCOs have the option of shares and they also have the option of savings. So if you have, for example, 5 million and you deposit it with the SACCO, they will ask you, how much do you want in shares of the SACCO and how much do you want as your saving? Where is the difference? The difference usually, from my experience, every SACCO has their regulations. But the difference here is that they try to encourage shares because it's not easy for you to liquidate the shares of the SACCO. When you buy shares, you have to sell them to another member. You can't just walk in and say, I want my money from the shares. But they will usually give you either a higher interest as people who have shares in comparison to the people who have their money in savings. And they will probably encourage you by saying that if you have 5 million in shares, you can borrow ×3 of the share amount. But if you have 5 million in savings, you can only borrow ×2 of the savings. So that they encourage members to have shares. So why do they want to encourage members to have shares? The shares give the SACCO liquidity. And they need liquidity because they're in the business of lending out money to the members. That is the service they're providing. So the more people that have shares, it means those are people that cannot easily liquidate it. But when you put your money in saving, if you go to the SACCO office and you say, I need my saving, they should be able to give it to you as soon as maybe 24 hours. Like, that is not money that they're supposed to hold for a long time. You're allowed to have that money. Those are some of the things to consider. Now, another thing to consider, SACCOs have an authorization body that is approved and regulated. So when you're going to join a SACCO, it is important to check if this SACCO is regulated. You've had those things, of the treasurer run out without money, and then you're like, what just happened? So those SACCOs are regulated. So just check out with those regulation bodies. I'm going to leave the name of the regulation body, and just check if it is on that list. It's like, you never know, guys. You might be in shock. I know someone has referred you, but these things of money and you're like, verbal trust. No, I trust this guy. Yeah, just check that. Then another thing that you can consider before you join a SACCO is, what is the governance of that SACCO like? How is the leadership? Like, are they organized? Do they keep records properly? Do they have systems in place? How long have they been registered, or how long have they been in operation as a SACCO? Having these things in order kind of gives you a safety net to reduce the risk of losing money. Yeah, so those are some of the things that you can consider before actually joining a SACCO. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is things that you need to watch out for. Things that could go wrong when you're in a SACCO. The first one that I would like to talk about is taking loans. I know the SACCO is meant to help you get loans, but when you take a loan from a SACCO, it's important to have cash flow, to know that, okay, fine, this is the loan that I'm taking. I'm supposed to make monthly payments of this much. It's important to make those payments, like to know where the money will come from to make those payments, where you expect it to come from. Why is it important? When you don't make those payments, they will put interest, and the interest will earn interest. So the loan will compound, the loan will keep growing. So you can blink and you're paying times to the money that you borrowed, simply because you did not know where the money to pay that loan was going to come from. So don't simply take money. It's not free money, guys. So if that thing doesn't make sense for you, if that mathematics doesn't add up, just don't take that money, because it can yeah, this I have experienced, and it is, honestly, I've experienced it, and it is not a nice feeling. So I'm simply sharing what I picked from that. Now, the other thing to keep in mind, in SACCOs, you have to guarantee someone. So before I get money, someone has to sign for me as a guarantor. Be careful who you sign for, who you guarantee. Otherwise, when that person does not pay that money, they're going to pick from your savings. They're going to pick from your savings. So simply because you're both in the same SACCO, if you cannot trace this person, if you don't know, for example, their family or their what, guys, don't sign. Don't sign. Otherwise, they will chop your savings. So that is something else to watch out for when it comes to the SACCOs. Now, the last thing to watch out for that I have already talked about, don't spread yourself too thin. Pick one SACCO, pick two SACCO. Like, don't join all the SACCOs you have the option to join. And you know, when they are pitching to you, it's like a good deal, you know? This is the SACCO, this is how it works. You should join, you know? Those are some of the things to watch out for when it comes to SACCOs. So what I'm sharing now is very general. Every SACCO has a way they operate, a way they run. So do your own research. I'm just giving you some of the things that I've gone through and things you can think about if joining a SACCO is something that has crossed your mind. Yeah. So if you have any stories from SACCOs, I'm sure people have like all sorts of experiences. So just please leave it in the comments below. What experience have you had when it comes to SACCOs? What tips would you like to share with us so that we can all learn in the comments? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found value in this episode. If you have, please like the episode and subscribe so that you don't miss future episode. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.